the 2025 Fippy Awards, brought to you by the EverQuest Show. Please welcome the host of the Fippy Awards, Fading.
Thank you and welcome into the EverQuest Show's 2025 Fippy Awards. What are the Fippies? Well, it's a way to recognize the best that has happened in the EverQuest and the EverQuest 2 community, from the newest zones and NPCs that have made it into our games to those community members that keep the EverQuest franchise thriving. The EverQuest Show wants to recognize the best of what has happened over the past year. And Darkpaw Games has been kind enough to offer a limited number of Year of Darkpaw activation codes as prizes for tonight. Nominees and winners of the Fippy Awards in the categories of Best Streamer, Best Content Creator, and Guild of the Year will receive a limited number of Year of Darkpaw activation codes provided by Darkpaw Games. Nominees will receive at least one activation code, with winners receiving more, for the streamers and content creators to provide to their viewers, for guilds to give to their guildmates in the best way they see fit, or to do with them as you please. Now, I will be reaching out to the winners and nominees in each category to send you your activation codes. Congratulations to all of the nominees, and good luck tonight. And if you are watching this during the live premiere of this broadcast, make sure you're paying attention to the live chat that's on the right side of the YouTube page for this video, as I have some activation codes to give away to you, the viewers, as well during this broadcast. Now, it has been quite a year for the EverQuest franchise. Let's take a look back at the biggest headlines from 2024. For the EverQuest franchise, 2024 brought significant milestones and anniversaries to both live service games. In celebration of a year's worth of events, Darkpaw Games Studio dubbed 2024 as the Year of Darkpaw, with expected new content in both EverQuest and EverQuest 2 each month to celebrate the milestone years of each game. Starting in January, each game had specific monthly content updates. In EverQuest, the Anniversary Tower opened up, with each month bringing a new key quest and heroic adventure for each level of the tower. And in EverQuest 2, the Heralds of the Gods arrived, with new heralds activating each month. There were special Year of Darkpaw collections in both games, and lots of freebies that were given away. But the celebrations didn't just happen in the game. The Year of Darkpaw brought back some real-life, in-person events that were peppered across the country. In February, a handful of developers attended PAX East for a panel about the 28 years of development on EverQuest. The event was well attended, and there were teases to the future of EverQuest.
We've already started development on this coming expansion as of last June, and the beta for the new expansion is expected to start in October to be released in December. Expect something big.
This was a clue to the huge nature of the upcoming 31st expansion for EverQuest, as well as updates about the future of the franchise.
So let's talk a little bit about the new EverQuest game. I know some of you are super excited to hear some more about that, but I don't really have a big update for you. I have a small update. We've been pitching and ideating on the next installment in the multiverse of EverQuest, and the project is in its infancy. So many things can change between now and when we're ready to publicly talk about it. So, no, it's in development. Well, we don't call it in development. It's in ideation. So, yeah, we're continuing to work on it and see what sticks to the wall, right?
And that wasn't the only in-person event. In July, Daybreak held a panel at San Diego Comic-Con with the full suite of their portfolio of games represented, including EverQuest and EverQuest 2. But perhaps one of the biggest headlines of the past year was the return of a fan gathering in the form of Fippy Fest. Fippy Fest was held in June of 2024 at the San Diego Comic-Con Museum, but this was a much different experience than the fanfares and SOE Lives of the past. With a $1,500 price tag, the Ultimate Fan Luxury event offered a tour of the Daybreak Studios, exclusive real-life swag, upscale dining, and 2 days of developer panels, autograph sessions, and one-on-one discussion between developers and the fans who could afford it. And while it wasn't the ideal price point, it was well received by those in attendance. And yes, I asked if the attendees that were there thought it was worth it, and everyone I asked said without a doubt that it was. But even those that weren't able to attend in person were able to stream all the panels and even ask questions of the developers, along with the ability to purchase some Fippy Fest in-game items. And there was an update to the real-life merchandise as well for the year of Darkpaw. New posters, artwork, mousepads, t-shirts, and more for all those wanting to get some real-life EQ and EQ2 swag. But while those happenings outside the game are very exciting, what about the new additions and happenings in the game? In EverQuest 2, it was an incredibly active year, especially November. In addition to launching the expected 21st expansion, Scars of Destruction, EverQuest 2 also hit its milestone 20th anniversary since launch. But one of the most exciting bits of EQ2 news was the arrival of a new TLE Origin server called Anashti Sul. The server brought back the gameplay and stats of the 2006 era of EverQuest 2 and saw quite a popularity boost for the game.
For our Origins beta, it was actually the highest population server, period.
Wow.
Over live.
For EverQuest, 2024 was monumental. The Outer Brood was launched in December as EverQuest 31st expansion, featuring almost all the zones with the exception of one, around, on top of, or inside a giant Leviathan that arrives with a brood of space dragons intent upon destroying Nerathians. In May of 2024, EverQuest launched 2 new time-lock progression servers, Teak and Tormax. With a free trade randomized rule set on Teak and a much more traditional rule set on Tormax, Teak was obviously the preferred server. Now, I do have to interject here that I am in the minority and I much preferred the Tormax rule set, but you cannot argue with the number of players that enjoy Teak. In fact, with some hardware adjustments and performance improvements to the servers, Teak was one of the most successful servers ever. Listen.
Is Teak the most successful player number-wise, TLP, that you've had?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's the biggest population that has ever been on any EverQuest server ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Round of applause for that. Go Teak players.
But by far, the biggest headline of 2024, earning the first Fippy Award of the night for the biggest headline of the year is... It's no surprise, it's EverQuest celebrating its milestone 25th anniversary. On March 6, 2024, it had been 2.5 decades since the launch of the game that kicked off the franchise that changed gaming. This past year, I had the privilege of putting together a story about legendary EverQuest original key artist Keith Parkinson, but in order to do that, I had to have some help from someone who knew Keith very well. So well, in fact, he called him Dad. Here to announce the winner for Best New Zone in EverQuest is the son of Keith Parkinson and a former producer on EverQuest 2, Nick Parkinson.
The artwork of EverQuest isn't just something that exists on canvas like Keith used to. It's also something you experience in each new zone that you visit in the game. In the category of the Best New Zone in EverQuest, the nominees are the Chamber of Puissance, the Gilded Spire, the Anniversary Tower, and Harbinger's Cradle. And the winner is the Anniversary Tower.
Please welcome EverQuest Show contributor and nominee for Best Streamer, Yvette, the counseling DM.
In EverQuest 2, the number of zones and dungeons released each year is just enough to fill the number of nominees in this category. But what they lack in quantity, they more than make up for in quality, art and detail.
In the category of Best New Zone in EverQuest 2, the nominees are the Blackhook Spiral, Western Wastes, Dragon Necropolis, Sodden Archipelago, and the winner is Dragon Necropolis.
Still to come on the 2025 Fippy Awards. Redbeard Flynn. And the winners for Streamer and Guild of the Year.
EverQuest is special.
EverQuest is passion.
To me, EverQuest is friendship.
Friendships.
Home.
EverQuest is all of us.
EverQuest is a social experience.
Game with a lot of history, a lot of involvement with other players.
I think it's a way of life. And I know that sounds incredibly corny, but for many people, it really is.
I was completely socially inept. Like, I could not talk to people. I was so antisocial in high school. And then you find a game like EverQuest where you're forced into these social situations so you can play this game you love, and it was great meeting people that, you know, were like me, and we all kind of came out of our shells and really found ourselves in the EverQuest community.
People that play EverQuest, the fan base, the players, they're actually some of the best people I've ever met.
There's so many interesting people from all walks of life playing the game.
There's room for everybody, whether you're a speed demon, if you're a raider, if you want to craft, whatever your thing is, there's room for everyone.
The interactions that we remember are not the sum of text that comes after a hail. It's the interactions that you've had with the hundreds or thousands of people that you've met since 1999, living in this shared world together.
It's hard to explain that connection you build and friendship you make within the community of EverQuest that makes it just keep on going through all these years.
EverQuest is both an incredible game and a severe addiction.
EverQuest is my life right now.
EverQuest is, for me, the greatest game that's ever been made. I mean, it really is.
It's been a quarter of a century long journey through, you know, discovering that a video game could be this.
Why do I love EverQuest? You know that you can't put your finger on any one thing.
With that first MMO or even the second MMO, when you get to, you kind of latch on, you connect with it and you stick with it. And that moment is hard to replicate no matter what you do.
I find it's the best MMO on the market. And it might be dated. Like, I get comments saying, you know, the graphics are old, or, you know, someone will complain about something like that. But at the end of the day, the gameplay's solid.
The world lore of EverQuest, it was just so richly made that it actually led me into reading things like Greek mythology and then later fantasy.
It fulfills that need for a fantasy genre in my life.
I kind of feel like it's magical. I know it might sound like a ridiculous or a non-answer, but there's just so much to it.
Everything about it is just great. It's a fantastic game, and I would play it forever if I could.
Here to announce the winner for Best NPC Model in EverQuest, former EverQuest developer Philip Sexton.
The world of Noreth and its stories are told through the NPCs in the game, and new NPC models keeps things fresh and exciting.
In the category of Best New NPC Model in EverQuest, the Fippy Award nominees are the Scalewrought Beholder, Aurelian Dragons, Leviathan Crabs, Legged Scalewrought, and the winner is Aurelian Dragons.
In EverQuest 2, Scars of Destruction brought us back to the continents of Otis and Velius. We saw familiar foes and long-forgotten races.
In the category of Best New NPC Model in EverQuest 2, the Fippy Award nominees are Bejeweled Undead Dragons, Lucan D'Lere, the Kappa, Lord Ulvaxazoviak, and the winner is Bejeweled Undead Dragons.
It seems no matter who you ask, whether they're developers or players, there is one simple answer to what makes the game of EverQuest so special and why it endures.
Why do you think EQ and EQ2 have lasted as long as they have?
Well, it's certainly the community.
It's the community.
The community.
The fans. The players.
The players. The players. The players.
I think it's a combination of things. I think the main thing is the community and the players. You know, it's a place where they can go and get away from the real life problems. I know that when EverQuest first came out, it was that for me, was you could go, you know, be a dark elf shadow knight for a couple hours and not be, you know, the guy that's like can't make his, you know, rent payment or something like that.
It's the fans, it's the families playing. Like I play with my dad and my sisters, and it's just something we can all get together and play. And it has such an engaging story that we can just keep playing it together.
They are why we are here. They are why we continue to be here. And it's the camaraderie, it's the support, it's the fandom that they feel for it.
To me, it's really the community. I think the community of our players that are so passionate about it, they keep the designers going, but they also keep the other players going.
We on this side of the glass don't maybe see quite as much of that as goes on, but every once in a while you'll get a dose of it and you're like, wow.
Everybody who's on this team is super passionate about the game. They play the game, they want it to do well.
Like I remember when the request came in, we need to build some chapels so people get married. I'm like, this is serious business.
They're fiercely loyal and they care so much, and without them, none of us would be here.
Keeping a 25-year-old EverQuest relevant in the age of streaming and content creation falls to players who spend countless hours producing or streaming content. Here to present the award in the category of Best Streamer is Fippy Award nominee for Best Content Creator, Redbeard Flynn.
Sharing your favorite game with the world through streaming can be a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work. In the category of Best Streamer for EverQuest or EverQuest 2, the Fippy Award nominees are Black Kittens.
Good evening. Hope everyone's having a wonderful night.
My name is Jamie. I'm otherwise known as Black Kittens on Twitch. I stream a bunch of variety of games, but the one game that always keeps me coming back is EverQuest. Having fun with friends, making it interesting, but yet making it unpredictable at the same time. Doing things that you don't expect your viewers to think you're gonna do.
Fezzzelwhig's Forum.
Yeah, I decided to make one of those Dark Elf Rangers. I go by Fezzzelwhig. I guess I'd say, speak clearly, try to be entertaining, try to be funny if you can, try to be informative or helpful.
SupplyJeff.
What are you guys doing?
For those who know me, I'm SupplyJeff. I've been streaming for quite a while now. I'm a huge believer of making sure those who come and watch my stream to feel welcome, to feel encouraged, to feel connected. And I try to create that beacon of light late at night saying, hey, come and hang out. We love video games anyways. Come and enjoy, become our friends, become family, and you're always welcome here.
The MMO Hippie.
We're back again Monday evening doing some Teak rating.
Streaming for the world to see. Hippie vibes eternally.
I stream the raids. So it's actually the people that are rating is what I really think makes the stream as good as it is. Start taunting. Yep.
Just chilling, relaxing, playing some games, and having some fun.
HammackJ.
Hello and welcome to how I play my level 110 Shadow Knight.
I just like to make EverQuest videos, right?
Today we're going to be doing the Oasis of Dragons, and this is the final tower door.
I try to make the videos for the questions I ask myself, like, how do I do this? Where is the, how does the progression go and all that?
The Counseling DM.
Hello. Hi. Hello. How are you doing? No, games that have fantastic stories in them. And I can talk about the stories that happen with characters and what's happening and with people in chat, and we can have like a little discussion about what's happening in the story. It is anniversary day. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. It's like, oh, yay. Hang on to the viewers that you do have, because I like them. I appreciate every single viewer that I get.
And the Fippy Award goes to HammackJ. Congratulations on your win.
When I got my first viewer, it was like the greatest feeling in the world. Is to, be able to talk to somebody and, find people that are sharing that same common interest in the game. And I found it hard before that to find it in people.
These content creators produce hours of video content for you to consume. In the category of Best Content Creator for EverQuest or EverQuest 2, the Fippy Award nominees are Aeth Plays EverQuest.
With Velius winding down and everyone getting into that post-already-bis malaise. So up the tower we go to the 9th floor, which is 3 steps up the teleporter in the middle. Hey folks, got a guide for you today on the Veil of Alaris expansion.
Josh the Gamer Gaming.
I've been playing EverQuest off and on since the beginning, and it has had a huge impact on my life. The Froglucks pushed back into their ancestral home in the swamps of Kunark, while the goblins and giants fought each other for territory.
Redbeard Flynn.
For years, I have been a huge fan of EverQuest to maximize your DPS, all of which is great if you're, I guess, trying to min-max, but is really annoying if you're just trying to be part of the game and be immersed in the game. That's a direct quote, and I couldn't be more excited.
Theoretical game designer.
Lagar was born and raised in the city of Kabalis. They were not in Noroth anymore. Lagar joined the fight with courage in his heart. Hate would not be allowed to thrive.
As a content creator myself, I know how incredibly time-consuming and difficult it is to create and produce EverQuest and EverQuest 2 content. But here's what the Fippy Award nominees had to say.
I'm Redbeard Flynn.
Yeah, I'm Aeth.
My name is Josh.
I'm the theoretical game designer.
Basically make videos on YouTube.
I'm a content creator, EverQuest player.
I started the channel this last year.
In general, what I think makes good content is the creator, whoever it may be, having a genuine interest in the subject they're talking about. Because if they're not interested and they're just doing it, to get views or whatever, you can tell.
So EverQuest obviously has a lot of history in it, going back so many years. Just had our 25th anniversary, right? So, it's a game where a lot of people who are still playing kind of quote unquote know everything already. So coming up with new things they might not know, or just things that are going on that they might not have been aware of is, I think, what people that I've found at least like the most.
I thought, well, maybe I can just get together some friends and I would just record all of it and create a series of videos about EverQuest.
I know people enjoy the lore because whenever I make a lore video, people will comment and say, we want more, make some more. And I say, okay, that's great, but this takes me weeks of research and a lot of work. So I want to make something that I think is fun and that people will like. So I'll release a video in between and I'll think, man, this is great. People are going to love this. And then 400 people watch it. And I'm like, okay, maybe not. So I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what people like. It's trial and error. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh, I mean, when you figure it out, let me know too, because I struggle with it myself.
Do I think this would be interesting to other people? Because everything that's interesting to me isn't also going to be interesting to other people.
There are times that I just want to play the game and I don't want to create any content.
And I think what people don't realize with the live streaming content is the prep required before doing it. So before you go live, there's a lot of prep that happens. Whereas the content for VODs, for YouTube content, it's a lot like writing in a sense, for at least for me. Well, obviously write scripts and things, but a lot of it is in the refinement. So you get this big script and then you refine it down and refine it down. And then you start editing and you refine it down even further.
Streaming, you just kind of get on and hope you're not absolutely horribly unengaging. And content creation, you have a little bit of more time to sift through. Maybe you don't feel like doing that that particular day. You can come back to it, film some stuff later.
The hardest time is keeping constantly creating. I'm playing EverQuest and then I want to create a video. It takes a lot of time.
Time management. There's so many ideas, so many things that I want to do.
The biggest challenge I find in what I do is the research that I have to put into it.
Without a doubt, for me, it's editing.
Oh, video editing for sure.
I think that if you want to keep the quality of the content and not just create clickbait videos, it takes time.
And the winner of the 2025 Fippy Award for Best Content Creator is Redbeard Flynn.
This is full circle to me. I've had a couple of those moments where I've gotten to meet people that I never thought I'd get to meet, that kind of thing. It's been a really cool and exciting journey, and I'm very much in that same mindset of, a rising tide lifts all ships kind of thing. And so I've never thought of content creation as competition as much as potential for collaboration. And every year in my goals, I have collaborate more as one of my goals.
Congratulations, of course, to all of the nominees. But before we get to Guild of the Year, and I know you're all waiting for that, hopefully you're already a subscriber and a frequent watcher of the EverQuest Show, and if you are, I appreciate that. If you are not, it's my obligatory ask for you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep in mind, I am not an employee or a member of Daybreak or Darkpaw Games. I receive absolutely no compensation for the content that I create here. The activation codes that are provided by Darkpaw Games are for the community and are free giveaways to the winners and to the nominees. My channel is not monetized in any way. Look, I'm just a fan that loves EverQuest, and I wanted to create this show as something fun about EverQuest and create the Fippy Awards as my appreciation to the community. Now, 2024 was not only a big year for EverQuest and EverQuest 2, but also for the EverQuest Show. Here's a look back at the incredible amount of content, stories, interviews, and episodes from this past year. Welcome to the third season of the EverQuest Show. I'm fading here in the EverQuest Show studios, but by the time you watch this, I will have left for Fippy Fest.
We're really amping up the celebrations this year. We are looking at having a presence at PAX East. So the big thing that we're really excited to talk about is an event called Fippy Fest.
I want to welcome all of you to Fippy Fest. So we've all arrived here at Daybreak and tours are going on, but this is what is really the star of the tour. It's the Keith Parkinson and other artist artwork.
So I'm Nick Parkinson. My connection to EverQuest is I used to work on EverQuest 2, and my dad was Keith Parkinson, who did the cover for EverQuest.
But Nick has an even more special connection to EverQuest than really any of us, since his father forever immortalized him into the original EverQuest piece.
And put into the, so if you look at like the
So you would dress up so that he could paint you?
Yeah. So like if you look at the EverQuest cover, like there's literally a picture of me, look at the halfling, and then look at the picture, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's that. A painting like EverQuest is really, 14 or 15 smaller sketches combined into one thing. When he starts breaking down how he's going to formulate, a scene, he'll do little thumbnails, and you'll get a sketch pad that has, 8 or 12 of those things, and little 1 by 2 inch squares, and then eventually he would kind of piece them together to compose the scene on a paper like this. Then he would redraw that, and then that is what he did the painting on.
Just an introduction. I'm Jay Barbeau. I was the composer of all the original music. That one, and yeah, that's more of a jaunty kind of a tune.
I'm Anthony Garcia, better known as Valen.
Where did Lucan D'Lere come from?
He was my character, a cavalier. Once I found him in there, I bonded him with him, and I carried him all the way to EQ2 and made sure he had a larger-than-life presence.
Back from a whirlwind trip to Darkpaw Studios, the EverQuest Show has interviews with the head of the studio, as well as numerous developers to talk about the year of Darkpaw ahead, the 25-year legacy of the game, and the future of the franchise.
Design manager for EverQuest.
Senior environment artist.
Game designer.
Lead content designer.
Engineering manager.
Trade skill designer.
Artist 3. I'm the creative director for EverQuest 2. An associate software engineer on EverQuest.
EverQuest's code was based on a multiplayer online tank game named Tannerus, and some of that code is still around. I think the best example would be missile code, which is going to be things like arrows and also things like a magician bolt spell. That projectile is a missile. So Tannerus lives on in its own way.
I was there really in the early days when guilds would compete with other guilds to get the dragons, like when the sleeper was killed. He wasn't supposed to come awake and he wasn't supposed to be killed. So it was a thing that wasn't supposed to happen, and the players figured it out because they're really ingenious.
You get to the heart of the matter, literally. You see the giant beating heart of the Leviathan, as well as the breathing lungs and more arterial structures. It is one of the more unique zones I've seen in all of EverQuest, and it pushes what artists can convey in the game, even if it does gross me out a little bit. Finally, the end zone of the expansion will be the Gilded Spire. Where Oriat Covert was the home to the servitors, the Gilded Spire is where finally the golden dragons we call the Aurelians live and travel on the Leviathan. This is where the full plot of Scars of Destruction comes into view. The Chitauri are still active and formidable in their claim of sections of the Necropolis, but of course it's all about dragons. More importantly, dragons that have found their final resting place in the sacred area beneath the Scars of Velius. You'll battle with all sorts of undead dragons as you venture through the Necropolis with different wings of the dungeon dedicated to specific types of dragons. And it's here that we catch up with the antagonist of the expansion, Lucan D'Lere.
So I can't take full credit for this house. My building partner in crime is Alyssa. She's like the Martha Stewart of EverQuest 2 decorating.
Pondering these eras and what would define them, I settled on dividing EverQuest into ages, grouped by expansions. Expansions are a natural way to divide up the game as they often provide distinct art styles, gameplay, features, developer staffing, project management, and more. Those distinctions have a real impact on the feel of EverQuest at those times.
Damn my eyes, what would you like your tombstone to say? It looks like it's my time to run away.
It was just the dumbest lyrics ever, but that was just one of those things that like stuck out in my memory from early days in EverQuest.
They all wanna eat ya.
Guilds in EverQuest and EverQuest 2, they are at the heart of the EverQuest community, and this year's nominees have poured their hearts into keeping their guilds going strong. In the category of Guild of the Year, the 2025 Fippy Award nominees are Emerald Alliances Reborn, Furiona V server, and EverQuest.
What makes Emerald Alliances Reborn such an amazing guild? Is it because of the froglocks? What about all those gnomes that seem to hide in every place? Is it because of our entire guild neighborhood dedicated to providing gear for members? How about because of the vast guild hall with its endless decorations, while having guild parties famous for lasting over 12 hours? Or is it the wild druids who ride on bunnies while getting into crazy antics? No, it's because of the people. With over 5,000 members in 19 countries and 11 time zones, Emerald Alliances Reborn's greatest accomplishment is having such a diverse group of members that see past their everyday differences to share in their joy of the game EverQuest.
Faceless on multiple servers in EverQuest. Nightfall's Guard, Oakwind server in EverQuest.
To you, you see it opens up for nobody. It's been so hard to fall asleep. The weather always makes my nose bleed. Makes my nose bleed. It's so hard to believe that one day I'll feel peace. I want control over my life. I want that driver's seat. Yeah, it's not you that I need. You push me down when I'm weak. You were never there for me. Go pick up your keys and leave. I can't go back to you, my friend.
Riders of the Storm, Varsoon server in EverQuest 2. That's EQ Baby, Aradun server in EverQuest.
On the Aradun server, one name reigns supreme. That's EQ Baby. They awakened the sleeper, a feat that only happens once in a server's lifetime. With this, they etched their names into the annals of EverQuest history.
Through victories and losses, our courage that we've known. In the halls of fame, our names were ever born. We gonna carry it all. Hey, that's CQ, baby.
Township Rebellion, Luckland server in EverQuest.
On an epic adventure with Township Rebellion. Together, we would hunt monsters, dragons, mythical beasts, and even invaders from other lands. This year, as I celebrate my 20th anniversary as guild leader, we are throwing the doors open in search of the next generation of Township Rebellion. Come for the raids, the fellowship, the EverQuest experience. And in time, you will find not only friends, but a family. And like many of us, with a guild average membership of over a decade, hopefully your last guild in EQ.
Now let's hear what the Guild of the Year nominees had to say about running a guild.
I'm Zaid, and I am the guild leader / founder of the various faceless guilds in EverQuest. To be a great guild, you have to have a mission, and you have to fulfill the mission. Whether that mission is, we're going to be a community guild where everyone can come and make friends, and we're going to max out trade skills, or we're going to do like fun trivia contest kind of stuff. Or if it's, we're going to be the server first, every expansion, that kind of guild, and everything in between. You have to have a defined mission, and that attracts people. People join your guild, they expect something from you. They expect you to deliver an experience to them. And you are great to the degree on which you deliver that experience to them. So it's really big into the servant leadership mentality. But like Faceless, for instance, we advertise as, we're going to be the fastest guild. We're going to focus on efficient raids and personal excellence. And if I deliver that to my player base, then our guild has achieved greatness.
My name is Avenue. I am one of the raid leaders and do the raid window in Nightfall's Guard.
So I'm somebody. I am the guild leader for Nightfall's Guard. I consider these people my friends and not just people I play games with sometime a few nights a week or something. So like I care how they're doing and what's going on in their lives. And I think that's also contributed very well to the success of our guild. And then when it comes to the actual raid leading, that's when Avenue jumps in and, takes the lead. And then I can, sit back and watch him work his magic.
For us, it's fun and efficiency. So we don't want our members to come in and wait around. Our charter is, you're going to come, we're going to be prepared, we're going to have a great time together, have a lot of fun, but we're also not going to waste your time. We're going to try to get the content done as efficiently, as smoothly as possible, having a good time doing it.
My avatar is Toon, and I'm the co-leader of writers, all inclusive. We have no reason you can't join. You can be a soloer, you can be a boxer, anything you enjoy, you're welcome to do in this guild. You can be as social, or you can be as isolated as you want to be. The people in this community, they flock to you if you show them some love. We're just very giving, open community style, and we like to make it so that people have an easy time playing. So many people want to raid. We don't have a team raid on Tuesdays, and that's it. Every other day of the week, we have one team or the other is raiding.
In-game, my name is Lollapop. I'm a 125 Paladin.
And in-game, I'm a 125 Shaman by the name of Esaf. I am the co-leader, one of the co-leaders of the guild. My wife is as well. So we are a family casual guild. We don't do any raiding whatsoever. Of course, there is raiding options, but we don't raid as a guild. We get in, we've got quite a few people. We're the biggest guild on Verona by.
We help each other, and that's one thing that is great, because everybody's helping everybody at any minute of the game.
We're known on the server for helping new, returning, and current players alike. We kind of help people along. If they want to raid, we can help them with that. If they just want a group, we can help them with that. If they just want to chat, we can help them with that. We're a little bit of everything.
Hello, I'm Adisha, and I am the guild leader for Township Rebellion, and we're a raiding guild on the Lucan server. I think for me, it's about the people and the fellowship that you find when you find that group of folks that are your people. They're your tribe, kind of like that sense of you've come home. And I think it's important that we find some sense of balance between the rating and the competitive aspect of it, but also making this thing interesting for a year once the race is over, and finding the people that sort of have the same outlook and passion just for playing all the time. Like, we raid multiple days a week because we love to raid. We like to spend time together. So for us, it's very much a social activity, not just raiding in a video game and a chore to be knocked out as quickly as we possibly can each week.
Yeah, I'm Kubat. I'm the guild leader of That's EQ Baby. Anytime you're like the biggest guild on the server, the open world guild, you usually get some hate, right? Because you're progressing a lot faster, trying to progress a lot faster than everybody else. That's EQ Baby was no exception. You know, we were really trying to get the server first, and not just the server first, but we decided to do the speed runs and try to get all the first there as well. Yeah, people don't like that. There's still people who hate us today. And, you know, we've changed a lot. Like, we're not the same people. Like, any of those people that were really the toxic people are gone. And, you know, they leave you with that. That's the one thing that is hard to come back from being a strong open world guild to being DZ heavy and still continuing to this day. At a certain point, you go from, okay, we just have a ton of people, it doesn't matter what everybody thinks, to being, okay, we need to make sure that this is fun for people, that keeps them logging in and keeps them interested in the game and this server, you know, because you can raid anywhere. You can play this content anywhere with anyone, but it's who you play it with that really makes the difference.
The biggest challenge in every single guild is always dealing with the player base. 100%. You have so many different people from diverse walks of life. They have different expectations, different backgrounds. You have no idea what their past is when they come to you. And you got to get everyone moving in the same direction.
We still have 50 main people raiding. So if a person has one problem a month, somebody is dealing with roughly a little, like almost 2 issues every single day. And so I think what's special about EQ is the size of the guilds, but it also means that the scope is a lot higher.
Learning how to not necessarily get rid of drama. Drama will always come up. People will always disagree with each other, but it's like addressing the issue in a fair and even way and making sure that everybody just feels cared about.
We're all adults, we're mature adults, but, you know, not everybody gets along at every single moment of the day. You know, sometimes we butt heads, but at the end of the day, we know that we can talk it out and get beyond that.
I think anytime you bring 75 somewhat strong personalities together, you're always going to have some challenge in blending the wants and needs and hopes of all those folks into one cohesive unit.
These TLPs, even though they're quicker, 3 months is still a long time for some people. So just keeping people interested, and I think that just revolves around community then at that point.
And the winner of the Fippy Award for Guild of the Year is Emerald Alliances Reborn. Congratulations on your win.
We're nothing without our guildies and everybody that puts time into helping everybody, you know, helping people get gear, everything. So it would be a thanks to our guildies and all the help that they give us.
That's a wrap on the 2025 Fippy Awards. I hope you've enjoyed the show as much as I have putting it together. Congratulations to all of our nominees, but especially to our winners. Next year's awards are going to be even bigger and better and with more categories, so get started on those guild submission videos already. The EverQuest Show will be on break for a few weeks, but a new season of the EverQuest Show is right around the corner. Thank you so much for continuing to support the channel and for watching. And of course, as always, I will see you in NORAD. Have a good night.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, my cat just ran in here at light speed. He's just a little guy. Where's my camera? He's about 12 weeks old now. So and he likes to sit on my shoulder. So he's just gonna kind of go where he's gonna go there. I have no control over him.
Yeah, this is a chalkboard wall, so my wife started working on that. It's a work in progress there, and then I got the marquee. Yeah.